Hello again my friends. Now I'm trying to collect all 4 new Monarchy shaders and I got one step closer today after opening this legendary package. As you can see, I bagged myself the Themisto shader, bringing my grand total up to 3 new Monarchy shaders. So then, let's have a look at my collection so far. Now as you can see, I have 3 out of the 4 new Monarchy faction shaders and we're going to have a look at each of these in turn. Now the first one that I got was the AMALTHEA shader, so let's actually equip this and see how it changes the colour. As you can see, you've got the classic new Monarchy colours, red and white. And the reason I'm not wearing a cloak is so you can see how these particular shaders change the colour of the helmet too. So that's the AMALTHEA shader. The next thing I got was the CLEOPATRA AK shader. And as you can see, there's going to be a slight difference. The helmet is now totally red, the gloves are white, but nonetheless, it's still the classic new Monarchy colours. And last but not least, and I think this is probably my favourite new Monarchy shader so far, is the Themisto shader. So if we equip that, we see that the helmet turns completely white, which is pretty cool actually. I really like the way that contrasts with like the rest of the red on the body. And you've also got a white body armour too. And just in case you're wondering, I'm actually carrying the new Monarchy faction hand cannon as well. So there you have it. Those are the new Monarchy shaders that I've collected so far. Now let's look at every other single faction shader and ship in the game. Now first up, we have the Visible Hand, new Monarchy's faction ship. Now let's have a look at all 4 new Monarchy shaders. This is AMALTHEA. Now AMALTHEA is one of Jupiter's 67 moons and is actually the 3rd closest moon to the planet. This is Cleopatra AK. Now Cleopatra was once the ruler of ancient Egypt, celebrated for her beauty and her love affairs with the Roman warlords Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. This is Themisto, another one of Jupiter's 67 moons. Themisto is derived from ancient Greek, which means belonging to the law. And this is Nefertiti. Now Nefertiti was an ancient Egyptian queen. She was responsible for the creation of a whole new religion within Egypt, and with her husband she reigned during what was arguably the wealthiest period of ancient Egyptian history. Next up, we have the Thermite Solution, Dead Orbit's faction ship. So then let's have a look at all 4 Dead Orbit shaders. First up, Bitter Steel, which may be a reference to Game of Thrones character Aegon Rivers, often called Bitter Steel. This is Revenant. Now Revenant is a visible ghost or animated corpse that was believed to return from the grave to terrorise the living. This is the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man is actually a tarot card that shows a figure hanging upside down, which is considered an act of revelation, a noble sacrifice which brings a greater good. And this is the Nowhere. Now this could be a reference to a creepy Doctor Who episode called The Nowhere Place. And finally, we have the Teal Hard War, Future War Cult's faction ship. Let's have a look at all 4 Future War Cult shaders. This is Babylon 9191. Now Babylon was an ancient Mesopotamian city, the world's largest city for 400 years. This is Carthage 0100. Now Carthage was an influential ancient city-state whose military was one of the largest in the ancient world. This is Nineveh 8611. Now Nineveh was one of the oldest and greatest cities in ancient history, settled roughly 8,000 years ago. It was the largest city in the world for 50 years. And finally, we have Tyre 4770. Now Tyre was a notable Mediterranean trade hub of the ancient world. The city was predominantly known for its rich purple dye, a colour that was in many cultures of ancient times reserved for the use of royalty or at least nobility. So then, we've just been through all of Destiny's faction ships and shaders. Now these particular items can only be won as random loot rewards from faction packages. If you'd like to see the rest of this video, in which a Destiny player opens 20 Dead Orbit packages, bags himself the Thermite Solution and hits Dead Orbit rank 100, click the link in the description box below. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of the video. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe for daily Destiny content, and thanks for watching, you beautiful bastards. And as always, until next time, Guardians.